Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. 6:08. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. I have to cough. I hate that. Hold on. I'm going to ask you for one. No, forget it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to fight through it. I'm a professional. 6:08, Thursday, April 28th, 44 degrees, getting up to 55. It's going to rain later on today. I'm just telling you. So don't be surprised. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Streaming live on Radio Pup and at WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. We are joined now in studio by Harry Vogel. Harry is co-founder of My Crystal Companion. All right, now, if you haven't heard of My Crystal Companion, I don't want to blow up Harry's spot, so I'm going to leave it for him to explain to us what My Crystal Companion does. First of all, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming in. It's you're an early morning guy, right? Usually up
Absolutely
around 4.
not.
No.
Everything's wet and the birds are singing.
Yeah,
My God, it's terrible.
It's not good. You can't even tell if the sun is up. There's no sun. Yeah. It's just darkness. That's yeah. So Harry, why don't you tell us My Crystal Companion? What do you guys do?
What we do is we take cremated remains of either pets or humans, and we incorporate them into all the component parts of glass crystal. You hold a Waterford glass up, you don't see limestone and quartz and sand. You see the glass. And I take a certain percentage of each item out and replace with cremated remains. And we create art objects, but we started this through a friend of mine had an idea. They had $1.5 million venture capital, and they couldn't get it. And he was in Florida. He came up here, and since of my engineering background, he kind of challenged me. Okay? And I like a challenge. It took a long time to develop, but I did it. And we have the patents and the trademarks and the copyrights, and pretty much didn't do much with it over the couple of years, and now we're starting to catch on like crazy. Like I told you before, John Lennon says, life's what happens while you're making other plans. And through a friend of a friend, I met the people at Cut for Tiffany. So we cut the stones, and we pour the 14-karat gold settings, and they're all set. And it's a beautiful piece of memorial jewelry. Each stone is about 9% of the actual volume. It's a lab-created stone. Is your loved one.
So you handed me your ring before, and so tell us about the ring.
It's 9% of that stone is a Labrador Retriever.
Yeah. Okay,
it's weird.
I listen. Look. On the other hand, I think having an urn, keeping an urn on your mantle is a little bit different.
Yes.
But I guess for the average person, like, nobody would ever know that that's what that ring means. The only person that would really know that is you.
Yes, it's very personal.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess in that regard, it's really more, I guess it makes total sense, right?
Yeah, and like I say, it's catching on, and through social media and through our distributor network. For example, Abbey Glen in Hamburg, New Jersey, they're the largest pet cemetery, crematory, and kennels in the state, and they handle 500 vets. So if your pet is put down, chances are they did it, or Red Bank did it, or Hamilton Pet Metal in Princeton, and they're distributors of mine. I did probably 14 last week, and I did New Jersey and Texas and California.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin. Sounds like a political thing. I won Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And I did Romania, Tokyo, South Africa.
Is it more pets or more people?
80% humans.
80% humans.
And some combined. We did for a woman in Pennsylvania, we did her husband and his favorite hunting dog, Ashes, combined.
Together,
yeah.
All right. A lot of ways to go with that. Okay, so is there competition in this space?
I have the patent for this particular item, but there's an outfit that does a lot of marketing, and it's a very beautiful product. And they take carbon and they send it to their factory in St. Petersburg, Russia, and they make a cubic zirconium. It's a diamond,
Right.
but it's like close to $20,000 a carat, so it kind of eliminates a lot of people. We try to keep ours under $1,000.
Oh, okay.
Because depending on the price of gold.
Okay, so what is your background? So how did you kind of stumble into this? Now because there's a couple ways you could either have a jeweler type background, or you could have worked in a mortuary. I'm not sure which way we went here.
None of the above.
None of the above.
Yeah, I actually started out got my business degree from College of Insurance, St. John's University in Manhattan, and worked on Wall Street for a while. I did a lot of traveling, and then I took over a family business, and we design and build automation, tool and die, mold making, and automation for NAM, nuclear, aerospace, military, and medical. And I've been doing that for 38 years.
Right.
And then because of my background in creating things, my friend approached me, and this turned into a whole nother thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so your friend approached you and you said, you identified that was a winner.
Well, not so much. I just took the challenge to see if we could do it.
What was your first reaction? Like, was your first reaction?
Weird. Yeah. Well, anything to do with death is weird. Like Woody Allen said, I don't mind dying. I just don't want to be there when it happens.
Right.
And
you got a million of those, don't you?
You just don't want to. Think about it. But hey, we just did a 10-year-old boy died of leukemia in Spring Lake, and they wanted to scatter the ashes in the ocean. And the woman's husband was about 18 years old, and he wants to retire in Arizona. And she lost the connection. They fought. So they made two little pieces. Her brother-in-law was a jeweler, and he put little chip diamonds, and she felt she could let go at that point. So it's whatever helps you out. It's a wonderful grief tool, and I didn't realize how important it is to people.
Right. Of course, now because I always, again, tie everything back to typically a movie. Now I'm having this Big Lebowski, the Lebowski flashback.
You have a million.
Yeah, of the remains, and it's like you should have accounted for the wind when you're emptying the urn. So if you haven't seen that, you just probably just YouTube that, because that's a really wacky
classic.
Scene. Yeah. Okay, so how long have you been doing this now?
I've had the patent for about 8 years, but we really just started pushing it for the last 2 because we've been pushed into it. People want it.
Okay.
So we actually started an organization, and we're growing.
And so how do you do that? What do you do? How do you market it? Where do you market it? What do you do?
We do pet expos and funeral director shows, and we do it through distributors. Certain funeral homes, pet distributors. We wanted to have 20 by now. We have 56, I believe, throughout the country and Australia, and we do a lot in Canada. And social media is big thing.
Yeah.
Our Facebook page, and we're getting into blogs, and it's all new for me. I'm an old guy. It's a paradigm shift in thinking from engineering. It's in engineering, it's plus or minus 30 seconds of a minute, or it isn't. In this, it's kind of like making a mug for your mom and Scouts. It's a feel-good thing.
Right.
And it's an emotional. It's nice.
All right. So Harry Vogel, my crystal companion, when we come back, I know you're also super active in the community, and so I'd like to kind of hear what you're doing there and how you're giving back, because I think, this is all talk about a karma thing. I mean, this is like it's like there's a lot of ways to go with that too. But we'll talk about that when we get back and learn more about this incredibly interesting business. Harry Vogel, my crystal companion, back after this. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin.
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin wherever you go. Download the Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We're here with Harry Vogel, my crystal companion. So, Harry, how long have you been at the Jersey Shore?
Well, we always had a summer place. I'm originally from Union. And when I went off to school, my dad always wanted to move down here. And he bought a piece of the company, Paramount Products, the tool and die and engineering company, and came down here. Loved the shore. And so did I. We were, once you get sand in your shoes, you die with it there. It's you love it. And it was great people, great way of life. And unfortunately, he was my best friend. He was healthy, didn't smoke, didn't drink, but he had a bad heart valve, and didn't know it, and he dropped dead at 55. And we were married, my wife and I, 6 weeks. God, that was 40-some years ago. But we were married then, and decided I had to transfer to Singapore. I came down here instead to keep the business going, to sell it, and I just fell in love. I just wanted to be at the shore, and it was great. And be a local businessman, get involved in the town, see my kids in school plays and things, and it was great. We love it.
So you say get involved in the town. So what have you done? I mean, are you active in the community?
Oh, over the years, I think we got involved in everything. From the Strand Theater restoration, we were involved in that heavily. I was a vice president of that. The food bank, we did a lot in the food bank. Rotary Club, very active. The Gift of Life, GSE teams, Bulletproof Vest Fund. We raised probably $500,000 up to this point. The Brick Police haven't bought any bulletproof vests or body armor ever, and we work closely with Dr. Kurt Meyer and the ex-police chief. He just retired, Rick Berquist, and we always had something going on there. And of course, the Chamber of Commerce. I was one of the founding members of the Brick Environmental Beautification Committee. We planted over 500 trees and organized cleanups and river cleanups with the environmental club at Ocean County College. Right now, I'm also involved with employer manufacturing liaison with the state and school through Ocean County College to develop job skills for kids that aren't going to college that need a vocation, which is really a wonderful thing. Finally, some awareness. My company, Paramount, we always had an apprenticeship program, but manufacturing's just been flying out of the country, so it's been a little hard to keep it up. So this is a light that helps with the joint base. Dix Lakehurst and McGuire, they have a great vocational school there too. So there's a lot of things to do. In the Chamber of Commerce, I've been a director of the Chamber of Commerce since '85.
Oh, okay.
And we're now working on our scholarship committee. We gave over $200,000 over the past few years. This year we're getting ready to give out $20,000 in scholarships to local people, from 1,000 to 5,000.
That's great. And what compels you to feel like you have to give back to the community? Is it just something that's kind of something that was always kind of drilled into you, or is it something that you've kind of learned to feel important about?
I was taught by example, basically, and then when you get involved, you realize that you're putting a lot of time in, but the reward is incredible. It's actually a selfish thing. When you help a kid, guide him in life, and you help him get a career, I mean, you can't put a price on it. Right.
That's funny you said that. I say it all the time. That it's selfish. That I personally, it's a rush to help someone and to feel like you're improving their life in any way. So I used to tell people that when they worked for me, because I used to like getting people promoted, and that was like one of the things that meant a lot to me. And I said, listen, look, don't take this wrong, but this is for me, because I like the fact that I'm helping you, because that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. But it's not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. It is a weird ulterior motive. But there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So, Harry, when we come back, a couple things that I need from you. Number one, I need you to take the magic wand, and I need you to make an impact here in the community just by waving that wand around. So can you help me with that?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Sure.
The other thing is I need you to recommend for me what your favorite product is. Like, what is the one thing that if you could pick it, you'd be like, this is the one that defines us the best, right? That's like really that's the go-to for you. Okay, because I'm thinking about this. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, Harry Vogel, my crystal companion. Back after this.
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:33, Thursday, April 28th, 44 degrees. Got up to 55 and rainy today. WOBM AM 1160 at 1310. News Talk Radio streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. All right. So, Harry, we were talking in the break. I guess I didn't really completely realize it, but I was kind of going through your website, which is super informative. And I'm not going to make you do this, so because it comes out cooler if I do it. Like, like it's on the down low. So if you go to mycrystalcompanion.com, right, you can kind of learn about the whole process. And so I was reading this and I'm going through it, and I didn't realize that it's a crystal, right? So you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out a crystal is clear, and the actual remains give it a color. And you were saying that really you get different hues and different colors based on the remains.
Yes.
So, can you tell things about a person based on the color their remains come out?
Actually, yes. We if you don't do the process with cremains, it's a lab a patented lab creation of a stone. And it involves high heat and pressure, and it comes out as a Mohs reading of about 6, which is a little harder than an onyx. Okay, it'd be clear. Sometimes you see outgassing of bubbles. Sometimes you see some cremains that aren't absorbed, but it's usually a light greenish color that reflects your carbon. If it's darker green, there's a lot more boron. And like I was saying before, we had a one that would come out a yellow, beautiful yellow hue. And that's iodine from chemotherapy.
Wow.
So each one has its own personality. And then, of course, we had like iron oxide to get a ruby color, a red color if you want for birthstone. People want that.
Right.
So each one has its own unique personality. It's weird.
That's crazy. What's your favorite, like, what, if somebody says, I don't know what to get, what do I do? What do you usually, what's your best seller? Which is
God, they're all about equal. Necklaces are big, pendants, rings.
Right.
Sell a lot of men's rings, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
Sell a lot of pierced earrings, one earring, to people. We just had a young man have one with his grandfather's cremains for one pierced ear.
Oh, okay.
And it's unlimited.
Yeah, but you do like pendants and stuff. So I saw somebody say that they put like. They had like 2 cats, and they would put like one of each of their two different pendants.
Yeah.
I
just did a mom and a dad for did 4 pieces for each child. So.
Right. All right. Okay. So Harry, we're giving you the magic wand. We're giving you the pixie dust, the fairy dust. We're giving you the ability to just shake your nose like Tabitha on Bewitched. You are active in the community. You do a lot here. You've been a Jersey Shore guy for a long time. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this new ability to make one change?
Oh, God. It's like the 3 wishes of a genie.
Except you only get one. See, we make it a little harder.
I don't know. Being in manufacturing as well, I would like to see that come back because there's a lot of opportunities for kids to get into it. I would really like to see that come back to the country, but particularly in New Jersey and Ocean County, there's an incredible amount of regulations and stumbling blocks that make it more attractive for if you're going to stay in the United States to go to someplace like Delaware or Pennsylvania, and I'd like to see that change. But more importantly, I'd like to see more and more people get involved in giving back. I see a decline in that. Like we said before, it makes you feel good. And instead of saying, well, this weekend I really don't want to go help with a cleanup, I'm going to go to a movie or something. go to the cleanup once in a while.
Right.
Bring your kids out. Do it. Have fun. And that's how you connect more with the community rather than just online. You can actually do it face to face, and accomplish something for yourself and the town. And it's I would like to do that.
It's interesting that you said that. I think I think there is a perception that there's a decline in like the younger generation giving back, quote unquote. But there's a very interesting dynamic, because I think that the way that they give back is just so super different. And I think, there's a huge movement afoot, and this is a whole separate show, but there's a whole movement afoot now, the movement of the 503B organizations.
Yes.
Which are basically organizations or now companies that aren't just motivated by making dollars for shareholders, but they have to make dollars for shareholders in a socially responsible way. Yeah. Right? So it's one part making money, it's one part social action. And really that's the way, I think the conventional way of charity and the conventional way of giving is all going to ultimately go away. And it's all going to be kind of intertwined in the fabric of how people do things every day, which is actually a really cool,
that's okay,
very Bernie Sanders type socialist type concept. Like we're all just like singing Kumbaya and dancing through the streets together. But
my nephew just did it. He started a company called Closed Loop, a sustainability company.
Yeah.
And it's a B Corp.
Yeah, and a whole different exchange, whole different way. It's a unbelievable concept. But it's interesting because again, I think that and I'll consider myself at a different the older generation. We don't look at it. That's not how we look at giving back. We don't. We have a different view of what that means. Very cool. Okay, so why don't you tell people, Harry, how they can learn more? How they can learn more about this about your products, about what you do, and where can they go?
Starting point is go on the website. Phone number's there if you want to call me and chat. The Facebook is there. You can see what people have to say about it. There's a distributor list. If you have someone that's taken care of your family's grief needs for years, you can look them up there. All kinds of ways, and I'd be glad to talk to you.
Right, mycrystalcompanion.com.
Yes, sir.
And everything kind of comes off that. Again, it's I think once you get past the initial like whoa, it actually makes total sense, because really, what would you rather do? Would you rather have a beautiful piece of jewelry, or would you rather have a tattoo? And by the way, different strokes for different folks, right? But I know which one I would choose, and it wouldn't be the tattoo, personally. Harry Vogel, I'll tell you what, very cool, interesting business model, and very unique. But I definitely walked out 40 minutes later with a different view than I had 40 minutes ago. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, back after this.